Shannon, how do you explain this new Tom Brady?
Well, really, I don't really think there's an explanation that is really needed, Skip. Have anybody ever thought this might be the real Tom Brady, not the guy that suppressed and was so guarded over the last 20 years? Skip, they're talking like the guy had a drug habit. Yes, he was very guarded. Yes, he did not let a whole lot of people into his circle. But I can assure you, the very people that was in Tom Brady's circle for the last 20 years, they still remain. I don't think, Skip, what's really eating at them, I don't think the Boston media and a lot of the Boston faithful have gotten over that Tom Brady actually left. They thought this thing was going to run for another 3, 4, 5, forever how long it was going to run, and they were going to be able to brag and gloat about we're Super Bowl champs and we're going back to the Super Bowl. Now, they still might, but the road got a lot more difficult. Sometimes, Skip, people put on a persona. But remember, perception is a person's reality, but that's not always the truth. The perception that they have of Tom Brady, that he's guarded, he's guarded, gee whiz, maybe this was Tom Brady all along, and maybe in the best interest of the team and show the leadership that he needed to show, this was the way it was supposed to be. I don't think Tom Brady is any different. Is he posting more now? Yes. Maybe he feels like he wants to say more now. Now, down the road, Skip, do I believe that Tom Brady will have anything negative to say about that organization, which he just left, or he will say anything derogatory about Coach Belichick or Mr. Kraft? Skip, I do not. I think down the road he might write a tell-all and say, you know what, I'm disappointed that it ended the way it ended, but I don't really think he's going to say anything derogatory. But at the end of the day, Skip, maybe the Tom Brady that we're watching right now, the one that was mic'd up during the golf outing, the one that's been posting more and more, maybe that's the real Tom Brady. And the other guy was a sham.
No, the other guy wasn't a sham. Shannon, here's what happened. For 20 years, Tom Brady had to live under the rule of and under the thumb of Coach Troll. Bill Belichick was the all-time dictator, tyrant, ogre, the most difficult coach, I believe, to play for that we've ever seen in the National Football League. But his quarterback swallowed it and let him get away with it. His quarterback, who was slowly but surely becoming the GOAT, sacrificed his, Tom Brady's ego, for his, Bill Belichick's, huge ego. And Shannon, I think it was harder than anybody knew on Tom Brady, but he knew he had to do it for the greater good of the team. He had to tell everybody in the locker room, it's okay, it's just the way he is. You just got to take the abuse, because in the end, we're going to win because of the discipline and dedication and the structure and the culture and all those hard things to live with that even Gronkowski is so happy to be free of. As long as the quarterback bought into it for 20 years, great things were going to happen. Obviously, 9 Super Bowls in 20 years happened. 6 wins in Super Bowls happened. And yet, the first thing Chad Johnson told me, a guy I've been close to for a long time, when he went to the Patriots in 2011, he was shocked. The first day of camp, they had a full team film session in which Bill Belichick threw in the tape of the previous year's playoff loss at home to the Jets. I don't know if you remember, 2010 ended with Tom Brady losing to Rex Ryan and Mark Sanchez. It was 28-21. Brady threw for 300. He played okay, but they got their butts kicked. And Chad Johnson said he was in awe that immediately Bill Belichick started to remount the quarterback, Tom Brady. He went after him with that sarcastic ridicule that Belichick is so good at. And then practice started, and Chad told me he didn't let up on him. Practices, camp practices, he's all over number 12. And number 12 took it because number 12's father always taught him growing up in San Mateo, California, you have to honor and obey your head coach. So Tommy was always a good boy for Bill Belichick, but after a while it started to eat him up. And then we've talked for hours about what happened. In 2017, Brady woke up and realized that guy that he sacrificed for is trying to push him out the back door in favor of Jimmy G. And then that 2017 Super Bowl happened, the Eagles happened, Philly special happened, and Tom Brady woke up the next day and thought, I threw for 505, I scored 33, we gave up 41 because my friend Malcolm Butler spent the whole day on the bench after he played the most snaps of any defensive player during the regular season. And Brady just couldn't take it anymore. And I think he did feel like he got sabotaged in that Super Bowl. So remember, a month or so later, Tom's out here in Santa Monica at a business conference, and it was a paid gig, but Jim Gray interviewed him, and Jim Gray does a great job of interviewing and getting the most out of Tom Brady. And he asked Brady, do you feel like you get the appropriate gratitude from the Patriots? And Brady said, I plead the fifth. And then Jim Gray said, are you happy? And he said, I have my moments. What? Those were the first shots fired from Tom Brady at the coach he was supposed to honor and obey. And it was a ticking time bomb from that point forward. So Shannon, to me, what we're seeing now is this is like an 18-year-old kid who finally broke free from, a horribly strict father, and he got to go away to college. And he's out in college. He's on his own now, and he is flexing his goatish muscles. He's feeling his social oats. He's enjoying the fruits of being the goat all of a sudden, and he's going social media wild. He is. And again, the reason I don't love it is because he's way better at playing quarterback than he is at being glib or funny or cute on social media, because most of it, even to me, and I love Brady, it's, I'll give you this. It's
dry.
It's a little silly. It's a little cliched. It's a little gee whizzy. It's a little lame. It's straight up lame most of the time, and yet he is showing you his other side. I get that, but I'm happy for him because he's finally saying, I'm free. It's like he's on extended spring break in Tampa, and it's fun to watch. He's found his happiness. He's riding a wave in Tampa Bay. He's posting all over Twitter and Instagram. And again, I hope it's not to the detriment of preparing to play football, but I don't think it is, Shannon. I'm happy for him because I think this man paid prices that we have no idea how severe they were for 20 years under Coach Troll.
Whoa, this is what and remember, people at home, remember I said this, if we like someone, we'll like their message. There's really no difference between Bill Belichick and Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan tried to get best out of his teammates by riding them, ridiculing them, sometimes outright being disrespectful towards them. Coach Belichick got 9 Super Bowl appearances, 6 Super Bowl wins, and now Skip Bayless is calling him a troll, calling him a tyrant. I thought the ends justify the means. We just spent last week talking about the ends justify the means. Shannon, you can't argue with the results. 6-0 is 6-0. Now, all of a sudden, you don't like Bill Belichick. He's a tyrant. He's a troll. Tom Brady is happy to get out from under his thumb. And now this? Come on, Skip. You can't have it both ways. Remember, I knew there was a time come that I would be able to throw this back in your face. Now Coach Belichick is a tyrant. Now, how dare he speak to the GOAT like that? But you had no problem with Michael Jordan, did it? So what was the difference, Skip? If the ends justify the means, in other words, by any means necessary to get the outcome that we seek, what is the difference between Coach Belichick and Michael Jordan besides you like one and dislike the other?
Michael Jordan was playing extreme high-level basketball while Belichick was merely coaching. Belichick played lacrosse at Wesleyan. He's not very athletic. He's a little Napoleonic figure, while Jordan was winning 10 scoring titles and a Defensive Player of the Year and 9 first-team all-defensive players and MVPs right and left. He should have won MVP every year. And Shannon, he was saying, you have to follow my lead. I need you to play up to my level, while Belichick was a failed coach in Cleveland. He lost 4 out of 5 seasons. 4 out of 5 years in Cleveland, Belichick had a losing record, and he got fired. He went 5-11 his first year in New England with Drew Bledsoe at quarterback, and then he started the next year 0-2, and Tom Brady fell out of heaven into his lap. I'm sorry, I don't know what Belichick did to earn the right to ridicule Tom Brady. He got away with it because Tom Brady let him, not for 1 year or 2, but for 20 years. He let him get away with all that ridicule and sarcasm for the greater good of winning championships, and it worked. But trust me, Brady knew from the start he was 75% of what was right about the Patriots to about 25% of the credit that went to Coach Belichick.
But see, here's the thing, Skip, and you try to, every time we talk about Coach Belichick and what he's been able to accomplish over the last 20 years, you go back to Cleveland. Some of the greatest successes started out as failures. You know that, I know that. If you go out through history, I can assure you, Thomas Edison didn't create the light bulb on his very first. Graham Bell didn't create the telephone on his first try. But you want to think people are successful at the very first thing they do, and voila, here we go. No, I won't let you get off the hook. You praised Michael Jordan, punching people in the eye, demeaning people, calling them out of their names. You said, Shannon, the ends justify the means. 6-0 is 6-0. Well, 9 Super Bowl appearances, 6 Super Bowl wins with the MVPs. How many times did they win the division? 17, 18 in a 20-year span. Now, all of a sudden, you got a problem with it, Skip. I won't let you do it. Coach Belichick did what he thought was in the best interest. He's trying to win games. So if you got to push, you got to pull, you got to kick. Even your best player, you had no problem. See, you had no problem when it was Scotty Burrell. You had no problem when it was Steve Kerr, Will Perdue, or anyone else. But Lord and behold, Coach Belichick got that stranglehold on your goat, and he making him back. Do it. Do it again. Tommy, what the hell are you thinking? Do you know what the coverage is? We studied this all week, and you still make a mistake. Tommy, what the hell is going on? You're throwing the ball like the guys Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Put it in his chest. That bothers you. So in other words, as long as it's somebody that you don't like, ride him all you want. But if it's somebody you like, don't get on him like that. If it's somebody we like, you can ride the person all you want. If somebody you don't like, you can't get on him like that. What he's earned, he's a 6-time Super Bowl winning coach. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's a 2-time Coach of the Year, and he's the greatest coach to ever coach in the NFL. That's what he is. And so by that proxy, he's earned the right to criticize Tom Brady, Thomas, Edward, Patrick, Brady, the Jr. Coach Belichick has earned, Coach Belichick has earned the right to criticize and to ride all 4 of those people. And that's what he did. And it resulted, like you tell me all the time, in 6 Super Bowls with 6 game-winning drives. And if Coach Belichick hadn't ridden him like that, it'd have never happened.
Did you just compare Tom Brady to Scotty Burrell and Steve Kerr and Will Perdue? I think you just did. You're making my point for me. Shannon Sharpe, go ahead.
No, what I said, as long as it's players like Scotty Burrell and Will Perdue and Steve Kerr, Skip Bayless is okay with it. But at the end of the day, are they not men? Do they not have wives? Do they not have kids? Do they deserve less respect than Tom Brady because he the GOAT? Oh, no, Skip. You see, I knew this day was coming. I just didn't know when, Skip. I knew it was going to come, that I was going to get an opportunity, that everything you said for the last 2 weeks, and you up there dancing. You like Michael Jackson at the Motown Award. You moonwalking. You doing all that boogaloo. And now look at you, squirming in the hot seat. No, I got them bright lights on you in the interrogating room. I got you. I'm Joe Friday. Just the facts, sir. Just the facts.
Yeah, just the facts. I'm going to give you the facts. Steve Kerr was lucky to be on that team. Scotty Burrell, lucky to be on that team. Will Perdue from Vanderbilt University, really, really lucky to be on that team, as were all the other just another guys who went down that roster. Winnington, Luke Longley, Randy Brown, Judd Buechler. He took every one of those just ordinary guys and he said, I'm going to pick on your weakness and I'm going to turn it into a playoff strength that I can utilize and capitalize on in key moments in postseason runs. And he did it to every one of them. We're talking about the GOAT here, who took it just so he could keep Bill Belichick afloat in the locker room. If Tom Brady had mutinied and rebelled from, let's say, starting in the second year, let's say after they won their second Super Bowl against Carolina, if Tom Brady had finally stood up and said, I'm not going to take that anymore from you because I'm the reason you are you right now, it would have been over for the Patriots, and Tom Brady knew that. He was the reason they were winning Super Bowls. You made my case, and I appreciate you bringing that up. They won 6 Super Bowls because he pulled off 6 fourth-quarter game-winning drives. That's impossibly great. You can't buy that. You can't coach that. You can't create that in a coaching lab. He did it by himself for Bill Belichick, and then he allowed Bill Belichick to shame him in front of the team for the sake of the team, because he knew Belichick was trying to send a message to everybody down that roster. I'm going to do it to the top guy, and I'm going to do it to the bottom guy because I am effing Bill Belichick. And if you don't like it, hit the door. And he could get away with saying hit the door because he had the greatest quarterback who ever played, who camouflaged all of the bad decisions that Bill Belichick made picking players. He made a bunch of bad decisions, and it just didn't matter. He could pick whatever Steve Kerr or Will Perdue or Scotty Burrell he wanted to and mix and match them because he had Michael Jordan. That's why. And Michael Jordan wasn't shaming and ridiculing everybody. He was saying, yes, sir, Coach Belichick. Yes, whatever you say, sir. It's unheard of. No other quarterback today would take that. Can you imagine what Cam Newton, everybody's talking about? How about Cam Newton to Bill Belichick? Baloney. It wouldn't last an hour. Cam Newton would say, you're talking to me like that?
Whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Skip. But you just said everybody would have took the ridicule and Michael Jordan calling them out of their name. You said everybody would have took that to win championships. So why wouldn't everybody, if you tell a quarterback you're going to win 6 Super Bowls over the next 20 years, why wouldn't they take tough coaching? You see what you did, Skip? You see, Coach Belly, you said, well, the reason why Michael Jordan was riding on Scotty Burrell, he knew that down the road he needed to count on him. So that game 3 against New Jersey, when he scored 23 points in 24 minutes, that was that. Steve Kerr, when he hit that shot, Michael Jordan hit him in his eye because he knew he needed to count on him. Well, Coach Belichick rolled the brakes off that mule because he knew he needed him to carry the load at some point in time. And you keep talking about Steve Kerr, and these guys should have been happy to be on the roster. Tom Brady should have been happy to be on the roster. When have you known them to keep a 6th-round draft pick quarterback and keep 4 of them on the roster? So he should have been happy. Skip, I ain't gonna let you get away with it, brother. I got these hot lights on you today. I got you in this interrogating room, and you're not going until you answer the questions. Did you order the code red?
I'm in my loft down here in the flats, down here.
Don't worry about it. No.
In lower, west side of L.A. here. I'm not up in your palatial estate. I think you have me confused with somebody that you have stuck up in your palatial estate up in Bel Air. I'm sorry. I'm actually free down here. I got my 2 little sort of 50-cent lights up here. I don't know. I'm not feeling that hot right now. I don't feel like my seat is that hot. I got a fan going. It's pretty cool down here because I am roasting you with what happened in New England. I am roasting you because Michael Jordan was saying, hey, I'm going to lead it by word and deed. Bill Belichick just leads in word. That's all. Just scathing ridicule.
And guess what he said?
Michael Jordan saying, follow my lead because I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to be by far the best player in the league, and I'm going to pick on you in practice, and I'm going to make you the best player you can be. And that's what he did with all those other cogs in his system, while Belichick is getting away with being able to ridicule the Michael Jordan of the NFL. Are you kidding me? Do you realize how blessed Bill Belichick was? It's unheard of. Do you think Drew Brees would put up with that? Do you think any other of the great quarterbacks we've seen in this league, there's no way anybody would have put up with what Tom Brady put up with?
Skip, what made Coach Belichick made this work is because I've been on teams and I've been places and I've seen coaches treat one guy differently. And it's like, well, when he made a mistake, you ain't say nothing, so why you on me? Coach Belichick wouldn't let that happen. That's why guys bought into it, because he held Tom Brady to the same standard he held everybody else. And he held everybody else to the same standard he held Tom Brady. That's why it worked. Skip, you told me the ends justify the means by any means. So no matter what somebody does, as long as it turns out to be they win, that's okay. So you telling me what quarterback in the history of time, if I give you an opportunity, you got to take tough coaching, but you're going to go to 9 Super Bowls and you're going to win 6. Which quarterback turns that down? None of them. Now, Skip, I remember that's Machiavellian. Machiavellian, the Dark Prince, and you read literature, you love that kind of stuff. He said the ends justify the means, Skip. So by any means, I'm not going to really tell you what he said about becoming, if you're the prince, that's why they call him the Dark Prince, and you want to become king, the ends justify the means. Read the book and you know exactly what I'm talking about, Skip. But you think you're slick, and I caught you.
How did you catch me? I explained to you that this man is ecstatic because he's out from under Belichick, and now he can reinvent a culture like Belichick's, except he's going to play Belichick and Brady at the same time for Tampa Bay. Watch what he does to that team. He's going to teach that. He's going to be like a good Belichick, a benign Belichick in Tampa. He'll be the leader, and he'll be the quarterback winner and the GOAT.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.